Internet.
Hi, Internet.
I'm Julianna.
I'm Keerstan.
This is Scenario Store News.
First level of business.
It's for our first edition of Interrobang.
Yay!
Fuckery known as Amy's Baking Company.
It was featured on Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmare. And it's a lovely little restaurant in Arizona. And it's run by Crazy Amy and Crazy Sammy. As a matter of fact, to speak to Amy, I'll speak to you in a language we all share. Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, meow.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow!
Her and Sammy have 3 children. Unfortunately, those 3 children are trapped in cat bodies.
Yes, and she can't even phrase it as like, we have 3 cats that we love dearly, or even fur babies. Like, no, we have 3 little boys who are trapped in cat bodies, and proceeds to meow at Gordon Ramsay.
Which we all know Gordon Ramsay really appreciated.
Yes, in fact, the first edition of any show he's done where he's up and quit.
Yes. They were so crazy that crazy-ass Gordon Ramsay had to leave.
Yeah, they weren't taking his advice. I know something you've said is that you're really jealous of her god complex. That, and it's true. Like, she really believes that she can fucking do whatever the hell she wants.
Yep.
And she's absolutely perfect. Apparently the food there is god-awful.
Or just not cooked. Like, I too want to be able to cook raw pizzas, make people pay for it, and then not understand why they don't like it.
And have a husband who enables the living fuck out of you.
That's all I really ask for in this world, is to be able to go through life caring nothing what people say to me and having no consequences for any of my actions.
I'm right, you're wrong. It really doesn't matter how inaccurate that is. They have a lot of haters. Yeah, so internet bullies and haters.
I want to know where it began.
Yeah, it's like, was she just spoiled as a child? Did people just not say no to her? I mean, like, their servers don't get tipped.
No. They take their tips. They don't tell you that they don't get tipped. Sammy just takes their tips because they don't deserve them.
They apparently aren't good enough, even though they put up with Amy and Sammy's shit. But yeah, like I said, like, Sammy just absolutely enables the living shit out of her. Like, he doesn't tell her the complaints that they get, so she legitimately doesn't know. That doesn't quite justify how poorly she takes it once Gordon tells her. But
you don't understand. I'm the best cook in the world. These people are just haters.
Yeah,
They're just haters.
But it's very clear that this was the first she'd heard of it, even though it was not the first it had happened.
As a matter of fact, he would make customers who never received their food due to the fact that it took her over an hour, and those customers are still expected to pay.
Yeah, and if you don't, prepare for Sammy to physically assault you.
Which has happened apparently to more than one customer, and was even pretty much caught on tape on the Gordon Ramsay episode. But from the sounds of it, it's all better options than eating the food. Have you gone to this restaurant? Have you seen this madness in person? I want to be lumped together with another one of those haters.
Yeah, we're gonna be those kind of cyberbullies.
Yeah. YouTube haters now. Yay! New form of haters.
Yeah, did you hear about the grand reopening because they did shut down as a result of the Kitchen Nightmares episode?
No.
Grand reopening. A big chunk of the proceeds went to, like, cyberbullying funds, which is, in theory, nice, but here is the point, and here's you!
Yeah. Again, their god complex is to be envied. Yeah. If you haven't watched the episode, watch it. It's awesome.
I personally found it on YouTube, so since you're already there, I just searched Kitchen Nightmares, Amy's Baking Company, and I found it,
So watch it. And tell us how the real restaurant is if you can.
And if you left a tip, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or if you got slapped, let me know. And then, on this episode's edition of Fangirling, which is my favorite part, big issue and fangirl news, for the 2 of us anyway, who will be the next Doctor? Who? I say this to annoy her.
Character is the Doctor.
Not Doctor Who.
No.
Learn that, Internet, or she'll kill you. So, my choice for the next Doctor, number 1 choice, Helen Mirren, hands down. She's obviously a great actress. She's obviously British. And I just want to see Helen Mirren do goofy things.
Yeah.
Because to go from this Doctor to a new Doctor and not be a goofball, Can't happen.
It's impossible. Really.
But I think that her even being slightly goofballish will be so goofbally, it'll be awesome.
I'm open to this.
Yes. That's my number one choice.
My, not necessarily number one choice, but choice I'm going to list first is Ivana Lynch, better known as Luna Lovegood. And my reason for that is that she is her character of Luna from Harry Potter. She is such just a quirky, whimsical, fantastical human being. Like, she goes on like interviews talking about how she wants to become a cat in a really cutesy kind of like, I know this can't happen, I'm not actually Amy sort of way. But it's adorable, and it's like, oh my god. Like, I don't even know if she should necessarily be the 12th Doctor, but if they were ever to do a female Doctor, I think she would have to be the first female Doctor, because she would just play so well the, ooh, this is new and different, and it would just be delightful.
I could see that, and I think I like the idea of a younger Doctor, too. Because, I mean, Matt Smith was already, like,
the youngest actor to play the Doctor.
So now to have even somebody even younger and be a girl, I think that would be an interesting twist and would draw viewership in.
Indeed.
Also, the Harry Potter crossover, more viewers.
Right, because there's not already a lot of that.
No.
But still, it's British actors, what do you want?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Emma Thompson. Freaking loved her in Much Ado About Nothing, and she had the quirky kind of tongue-in-cheek comedy, and then, you know, even in some of her other, like, works. So I know she could bring out that whimsical thing, and I think she has that kind of spark of curiosity and spark of, like, just, she has that Doctor spark. I don't know what that is.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Like, every Doctor has had that thing that makes me go, yes, that is the Doctor.
Yeah.
She has that for me. So does Helen Mirren, but I think Emma Thompson might even have more of that spark.
Huh.
As far as I'm concerned, Emma Thompson could start being her right now. So that's my 2 cents.
Huh. My next choice is another Harry Potter actor. Donald Gleason. He was Bill Weasley, one of the clan of Weasley spawn. You didn't see this one too much, but I haven't really seen him in anything besides Harry Potter, but I have seen like interviews and like trailers for other things he's done, and I feel like he has that as well. He's got that like quirkiness. He comes across as actually just kind of shy, and kind of awkward, but in that way that the Doctor could be. And he's ginger, so if he were to play the Doctor would finally be ginger.
I like that.
Because 10 said he'd always wanted to be ginger. 11, one of 11's first words was, still not ginger. So, he would be ginger.
So our last and final choice is actually one that we agreed upon.
Who knew that was going to happen?
I was shocked.
I actually thought it was a really controversial choice, but...
So did I. I thought she'd laugh at me, but apparently no.
We're awesome.
So this is should be Stephen Moffat's choice to be, as far as I'm concerned, probably the best choice. Hugh Laurie.
Yes, he is English. If you've only seen House, he actually is English. If you've only seen House also, please go watch a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Yes.
It's him and Stephen Fry doing comedy sketches, and it's absolutely wonderful.
And that will also make you understand why we think he could play the goofy, comedic side of the Doctor.
Right, the Doctor who has to be a little bit silly so he doesn't kill himself.
Yes. But we all know he can get super serious.
Right.
So he can be the serious Doctor when he needs to be.
Exactly.
And he can also be the Doctor that falls off of things when he needs to be.
Yes. Yes, I can see Hugh Laurie as the Doctor being like, yes, Fez.
Mm-hmm. I wear a fez and a cowboy hat. Woo!
Yeah. He would have his interpretation of that, and it would work beautifully. And also, it would probably fix the fact that apparently the BBC has actually shown declining numbers and ratings recently. They think it's because of downloading, but Hugh Laurie being Hugh Laurie would bring in new people, and that would probably be really helpful. I mean, he's not ginger, but Moffat, get on it.
Right?
So, for this installment of The State of Things, we have one that's actually really near and dear to you, Keerstan.
Mm-hmm. It's actually Pittsburgh-centered, which we're from Pittsburgh, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
And it's about a neighborhood in Pittsburgh called Hazelwood. Used to be a big, booming steel mill town. Actually is where I grew up.
Yeah.
And so...
I've also lived there,
Yes.
So
we know it. You live there. I go there practically every week. So they tore down the steel mill. It's just basically a big, giant vacant lot.
Right.
And now they've decided to redevelop it. and they've decided to make it into condominiums and townhouses and like an industrial park, basically.
Yeah, which it's a little bit sketchy if you know Hazelwood, because then you know that
it's one of the worst neighborhoods in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there's not even really like a proper grocery store. There's not a lot there for you.
There's a Rite Aid and a Dairy Mart.
Yeah.
Some bars, kind of, but not even that anymore. Which I mean, if there's a place in your city that is so downtrodden that it doesn't have bars,
right?
What does that say about the area?
That's very true. And if there's a place like that in your city, if it isn't Pittsburgh, then you know what we're talking about.
My concern is, how are they going to have these lovely, expensive townhomes, condominiums, industrial park next to somewhere that sells crack?
Yeah.
Not exactly, what they're going for with these new luxury townhomes.
Right.
So my fear is, what are they going to do with those people? What are they going to do with all the people down there?
Yeah, I know you're pretty worried about eminent domain.
Yes. I'm afraid that they're going to say, we can't have you here anymore because we would like to build, an office building where your house is, and your house is getting in our way.
Right. Or them exercising their right to take Section 8 away.
Yes, because a lot of Hazelwood is Section 8.
Right.
So they can easily just say, this isn't Section 8 anymore, go away.
Yeah.
You live here now.
Yeah, like I know what they did in East Liberty, another neighborhood in Pittsburgh that has been redeveloping a lot over the past few years. They didn't really do anything like that, per se. They didn't eminent domain. They didn't, force people out. They did tear down all the project housing. But
which there really isn't. There's like a project that's adjacent to Hazelwood, but it's far enough removed from where the steel building was.
Yeah, but they even still took that and replaced it with affordable housing. I don't know if it's the same level, but I do know that what ended up happening from there was, and I really believe that they tried to keep gentrification out as much as they could, but property values rose to the point that people are being pushed out, and smaller businesses that were there had to shut down because they couldn't keep up, and other smaller businesses that might want to come in can't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely worried about for Hazelwood and my family that still lives there, is their property taxes will get so high that they can't afford to live there anymore.
Right.
They might still keep their land, keep their property, but if the property tax is worth more than your house,
what can you do about that?
Can't do anything.
Aside from leave.
Right, and even they keep saying that these new building projects will produce employment for the surrounding areas, which is also what they said about another neighborhood in Pittsburgh called Homestead, which next to the river they built a giant shopping plaza.
The waterfront.
Shopping plaza, which they said will bring in so many jobs for the neighborhood, and instead they're like, hey neighborhood, please keep out of the waterfront because we want people to shop here, so stay up in your section.
Yeah, they weren't so good on that.
No, they didn't do a very good job with integrating the community within the development.
Right, yeah, it's very, this is the waterfront and this is Homestead, and they feel like separate universes. You wouldn't, if you've never been to Pittsburgh and this is your first time seeing the area, you wouldn't even be able to imagine that these places are right next to each other, much less same borough.
Yeah, you go one street up and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
These dilapidated houses are scary.
Yeah, but it's like, hey, you know what? When we were at Wet Seal, we were in Homestead.
Yeah. Which I think that is what is going to happen with Hazelwood. It might just be me being skeptical and not trusting the government, but I was raised that way. I could see it being, this is the industrial park, don't go up that street's where it gets bad. Because they keep saying that, they want to integrate the community into the project, and they want the project to benefit the community, and they even cited that they're going to build a grocery store, and that companies as far as Los Angeles are interested in, the main street of Hazelwood and developing it. And
there's potential for that to be a really good thing, but it's just so hard.
Yes, I see from my skeptical, cynical point of view of, yes, they're interested in building stuff on 2nd Avenue so that people don't live there anymore.
Right.
That's my perspective.
Hazelwood needs something.
Yes.
I don't know what specifically. I do not envy the people who are in charge of this. I don't have the solution. I'm not even going to try to come up with one, but it needs something.
Yeah.
But I
Like,
don't know if
yeah.
what they're trying to give it is the answer. Thank you for watching.
Watch the next episode. Please.